Apple will be hosting an event in March of 2016, and at that event we're going to see lots of new products, one of which will be the new iPhone 6C, supposedly, which is likely to be priced at $99, and it's made to appeal for those iPhone users who want to stick with a 4-inch screen. The iPhone 5C was the first iPhone that Apple attempted to breach into a new realm of people that they don't know much about, the thrifty ones. So the iPhone 5C was half the cost of a regular iPhone, and it's crazy to think that someone at Apple thought, why don't we make a cheaper one? Never saw that coming, but apparently someone did. And Apple learned nothing from this experience, because when the iPhone 5C was released next to the flagship phone, the iPhone 5S, way more people bought the iPhone 5S. The sales of the 5S outnumbered the 5C 3-1, and in other countries, the 5S did even better. Bottom line is, Apple, which has never been known for making products cheap, has learned now from experience that making products lower cost does not help them at all. Considering that every iPhone 5S was at least twice as much as a 5C, they made so much more money by going all out and not making compromises. And this is why the iPhone 6C isn't being released alongside the other flagship iPhones. So on the bit of the tech side, the iPhone 6C is supposedly made out of an aluminum, unlike the 5C, which was made out of plastic. It'll include NFC, so it can do Apple Pay, Touch ID, which should be a standard on most Apple products by now, an 8-megapixel rear-facing camera, and more of a crappy 1.2 megapixel FaceTime camera, but it'll get the job done. The big feature missing on this iPhone will be 3D Touch, that is seen on the other iPhones, that opens up more options for people when you press harder on the display. So it won't have that, but it'll likely have the same resolution as the current iPhone 5, which has a 4-inch display as well, and Apple's very powerful A9 chip. A pretty well-rounded device with fairly modern specifications. So the question remains, why is Apple pursuing this audience once again, if last time the 5C barely did as well as their flagship phone? One reason is Apple is sticking with the motto of 3. Lots of their products have 3 variations. Now we have 3 variations of the iPad, 3 sizes, rather, 3 variations on the MacBook, and 3 different models of Apple Watch, which specs-wise have no difference, by the way. So having a smaller phone is one thing, but this time it doesn't really seem like they're compromising like they were on the 5C. This one is having pretty modern specs, and it's being made out of full aluminum. It's not a cheaper device in terms of build quality. So the point this time isn't trying to reach a cheaper audience, rather, but trying to keep the people who want that 4-inch iPhone, the very portable one, to keep them happy. They want to keep them on board. So my guess, even though most of us are suspecting it to be priced around $99, Apple likes to surprise us with expensiveness. My guess is it'll be closer to $150 or $130, just because it's a little cheaper, but not like completely crap. Not as little as a difference between the 5C and 5S. And Apple's learned from experience that the 5C is not the kind of build quality their customers want. So that keeps with Apple's tradition of being premium for that extra price. And yes, I know how stupid it is, how expensive everything Apple makes. But hey, the iPhone 5C was our chance to show Apple that cheaper people would like to buy iPhones. People who don't want to spend that much on an iPhone. The 5C was our chance. So rarely does Apple ever make anything like the 5C, where they put their operating system in hardware that's half the cost of their flagship, and guess what? It flopped. Barely anyone got it. Everyone got the 5S. That was our chance. We missed it. So now Apple's gonna keep doing what they're doing. So Apple products are not getting cheaper anytime soon. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I'll see you in the next one.